did a few minutes ago. This is Mike Locascio. I talk about maintaining your computer and repair, and I'm going to do a live stream about a few safety issues, and I'm going to do a little recap. It's going to be real fast, so please, if you want to write it down, if you want to save the video, either way, that's great, and you can come back to it, and you can do these things. I want to talk to you about being online, being on the internet, surfing online. When you turn your computer on and you go on the internet, I want to talk to you about what happens. Oh, Bannon, great. Thanks a lot. I'm glad it's better. I want to talk to you about what happens when you turn your computer on and when you go onto the internet, whether you go to YouTube, regardless of where you go, whether you go to email, whether you go to eBay, whether you talk on instant messaging to your friend, whatever you do online, that's what we're going to talk about. It doesn't matter what you do, but I want to tell you a few things that you need to know. Hi, Irish Train King. Welcome. If you haven't been to any of my live stream before or watched any of my videos, I'm Mike Locascio, and I talk about how to maintain your computer, repair your computer. I've been doing this over 20 years, helping businesses, helping regular people like you, working on with people that have home businesses. I repair their computer. I teach them. I teach seniors how to operate their computer. I go into nursing homes. I've dealt with doctors, lawyers, a lot of professionals over 20 something years. And I know a little bit about, and I learned a little bit about what you need to do to be safe online and what you have to do on your computer, what you have to be aware of. And 2019, there's a lot of threats out there. It's not getting any better. The people that do all this malicious stuff, they're getting smarter. Technology's changing for the better, but there's a lot of scams out there. If you go into your email and you have email from people that you don't know, you must delete the email. Do not read the email. Do not even open the email. Delete it. Go into your spam folder. If you have a lot of junk in there, make sure you remove it. Okay? That's an important thing to do. People are putting links into emails for people to click on so they could initialize viruses, or other than initialize viruses, they want to try to track your IP address. What's an IP address? Well, outside of everybody's house or apartment, you have an address. Computers the same way. Every computer has an IP address. That means that you have a separate address than me. I have a separate address than someone else. Every computer user has a internet protocol, what is called an IP address, and hackers want to get your IP address so they could go into your computer and see what you're up to, see what you're doing, see if they can get into your banking, see if they can find out your credit card information, see if there's any personal information they might be interested in, and you don't want this to happen. So I'm going to tell you a couple things that you can do to be safe and prevent these things. One thing you can do is don't open emails from people you don't know. Delete them, go in your spam folder, get rid of them, throw them in the trash, get rid of the trash. If you get instant messages from people you don't know, people that want to be a new friend, you never heard of them, and all this other nonsense, they're trying to sell you something, they have links in there, you want to close it out, you want to block them, you don't want to click on any links that people are sending you from the other side of the world and all this other stuff, wherever they come from. People are tracking each other. They're trying to get information. Information is valuable to hackers because with that information, they can make credit cards in your name. They could go into your bank account. There's a number of things they could do with a little information. Sometimes it's only a last name. Sometimes they need numbers. Sometimes they need specific location information. Other times they send a file and hope you click on it, and then they can get into into your computer that way. So if you have very weak passwords, what I mean by weak passwords, if you have passwords with your kids' names for your banking or for your router, if you have password 123 or your dog's name and a password, you need to go through passwords one at a time, and you need to make them much better. What I mean by that is you need to make stronger passwords. And the best passwords that you can make coming from professionals that I've spoken to in the industry are passwords that don't make sense. If the password you create does not make any sense, then it's a strong password. So you need to make passwords with upper and lowercase letters and numbers in between letters. You need to use symbols on the top of your keyboard is several symbols. You need to incorporate those symbols into your passwords, mix them up, make them hard to understand. They don't have to be real long. Just make the password where people aren't going to be able to figure it out that easy. And for your safekeeping, make sure you write these down. The experts say every 6 months you should change your password. And I agree with that because people are always operating on a way that they're using these scam programs to get in your computer. Good morning, G family. Welcome to my live stream. I hope you're safely operating your computer. Remember, if people are sending you instant messages under your phone, the good one now is people are sending instant messages from Facebook, and they're hacking into your friend's instant message, pretending to be your friend, telling you won money. What a big joke. And then they're telling you you need to send some money so they can send you the money. Okay, so now they want your information. Report them, click off, block that. You don't want to be involved in that. Now, I've gotten a few of them, and the first thing I ask is, how do we know each other? If they don't give you the right answer, obviously it's a scam. So you need to click off of that. Don't correspond with people on instant message that you don't know, because that's an easy way for them to get into your computer. When they ask you certain questions, they're trying to break into your computer. The longer they keep you on, there's programs that could try to get your IP address, and you don't want that. So also instant message, be safe there, be safe in your email. Also, your browser is what I need to tell you about. You're using Chrome browser, and Chrome browser is about the safest browser there is right now. And what you need to do on a regular basis, maybe it depends on how often you use the internet, you need to open your Chrome browser, go onto the top right-hand corner, there's 3 dots there, click on those dots, go over to history, move your mouse to the left, click on history, and you need to remove all your history in your Chrome browser. Delete all that history and make sure that you keep an eye on that. Cleaning your history is a very good thing. You want to get rid of it, and you want to keep that clean, because what happens is websites will leave what's called a cookie file, and they'll leave this cookie file in there when you go to the website, and it makes them keep track of your shopping, keep track of the things you do online, and you don't want companies to do that, and you can get rid of that. So make sure you go into your history time to time and you delete all that stuff in there, and then they can't go into your history and check you out that way. If you're using any of the instant message programs, make sure it's somebody that you know. Make sure when you go to your banking, make sure you see that secure website. It will say secure. Anytime you transact with any money or any credit cards on any website, it has to be on a secure site. So make sure it says secure, and then you'll see that little lock up in the corner. Okay? The most important one is your router and your banking, that you should change these passwords, because you don't want people to get into see your banking financial information, and you don't want people to get into your router and they can potentially monitor things that you're doing on your network. If you have different computers on there, and you have a wireless network, turn it upside down and you'll see the router password. You can change the password for your router, and that's a very good thing to do. I highly recommend putting a strong password in your router that people cannot break. If you're not sure how to do it, just do a little search, how to change my router password. It's very simple, and you can do that, and that's a very good thing to do if you're a business or anybody that does any kind of transactions through banking, through shopping, and anything else. So change those router passwords. Um, on your computer, you're called a cache, C-A-S-H-E. That's a cache, okay? What is a cache? A cache is where you get a lot of accumulated temporary files that you don't need on your computer. There's about 5 areas where you get a lot of files just by being on the internet. Okay? This is an important place for you to go. Now, where is the cache? Okay, this is what you do. And you can write this down if you like. If you're on Windows 10, what you do is you right-click on the Start button in the lower left-hand corner, and then you left-click where it says Run. You type TEMP in the run box. That's temp, TEMP. Hit OK. You might have to click Continue. After you do that, you'll see all these temporary files on your computer. And not only will this clean up your cache, it will also make your computer run faster. So if your computer's slow, you definitely want to do this. If it has slowed down in time, go to Run. Now you're going to hold down your Control A key on your keyboard, and you're going to push the Delete key on your keyboard until most of those files are gone. Most of those files are gone. Not all of them have to be gone, but just get most of them. Now close that out. Go back to your Windows icon, lower left, on your Windows 10 system, and you're going to right-click, again, left-click, Run. You're going to backspace what's in there. Great. I'm glad you did that. Backspace it. Now you're going to put in %, temp, %, all one. No spaces. Hit OK. Continue. Control A, delete everything that you see in there. You might have to do it a few times. You hit the delete key on your keyboard. Close that out. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to go back to that lower left, your Windows Start menu icon. Right-click it. Left-click. Run. Remove what's in there. You're going to type in prefetch. Prefetch. Hit OK. Continue. Now you're going to see a whole bunch of prefetch stuff. Control A on your keyboard. Delete on your keyboard. Now you got rid of all that, or most of it. Close that out. So congratulations, you just cleaned your cache. And those files will slow your computer down. If you never did it, you probably have a real lot of files in there, and it might take you a little longer. Don't stress if everything doesn't go away. Most of it going away is good. You close that out, okay? I want you to clean your hard drive. A healthy hard drive is a good hard drive. But before you do that, I want you to be safe. So look into your Windows program, and I want you to see what programs are on your computer. So you go down to the search bar on the bottom. You're going to type in Control Panel. Hit Enter on your keyboard. It's going to take you to your hard drive, and it's going to show you all the programs that are installed on your computer. And you need to go down that list. Start from the top, go down one by one. If there's games you don't want, if there's toolbars that were put on by accident, if there's any spyware programs or some weird software in there that you don't want, you're going to get rid of that too. Toolbars are a menace. You don't want that. You're going to get rid of toolbars also. Programs you don't want, you get rid of them. Hey, silly boy. So what you do is you highlight anything you don't want. you go to the top and you hit uninstall. You do that for every single one. If you're not sure what something is, or something says sound driver or video driver, you leave it alone. You don't want to mess with that. If you're not sure what something is, you leave it. But if you have a game in there you want to get rid of, if you have toolbars or any kind of junk you don't want in there, get rid of it and then close it out. Okay? The less things on your hard drive, the better. The things you're not using or don't want are cleaned off of there now, and now you want to do scan disk. Now, let me remind you, if you have an SSD hard drive, you don't want to defrag it. Remember, SSD hard drives are flash memory hard drives, and they don't need to be defragged. So you never try to defrag an SSD hard drive. Now, keep that as a note. But if you have a SATA hard drive in your computer, that's a regular hard drive, SATA, what you want to do is you want to go click on your Windows icon, lower left again. You want to click on File Explorer. Then you want to click on this PC. Then you want to click on C drive. Now highlight the C drive, right click it, and then left click Properties on the bottom of that drop down menu. And then you'll be at your disk cleanup. Click Disk Cleanup. Clean up your system files. Hi, silly boy. Hey, let it do its cleaning. Click yes, clean my system files. It'll calculate and tell you what can be cleaned off your computer. Give it time. After that, it's going to prompt you to remove these files. Yes, I want to remove my system files that you found. It's safe to do that. Then next, I want to remove all this other junk you found. Safe to do that. Underneath that, you'll see Optimize Hard Drive, and you click on that. If you have a regular SATA hard drive, double click on the C drive and wait till it does its optimization and defrag. Once it's finished, you can close that out. Now you're done optimizing your hard drive and defragging. What does defrag mean? Okay, well, a regular hard drive has a platter inside it. It's a box. It has a platter and some electronics. And it also has an arm that moves back and forth. That arm writes and reads to your computer hard drive, to your computer, and it intertwines with your CPU, your processor. So you can send data and you can receive and you can write and read. That's what that arm is. It's a write-read arm. But here's the thing. When you have files scattered all over your computer, that arm has to move a lot further back and forth in order to find the programs and files that you normally use. Once you do the optimization and defrag, those files will be in the center of your drive. Windows will put those files back in the center of your drive so that arm doesn't have to work that hard. And when you click on something, you have a better response time. So that's why you defrag your hard drive and optimize it. You can do this about once a month, and that will help you. Now, last reminder is, do you have any antivirus? If you don't, get a free antivirus program, put it on your computer, install it. You can go to avg.com and get a free antivirus. You can go to Avast, AVAST, for Windows 10, get a free antivirus and use it. Another thing I want to tell you is, type in your search bar on the bottom, Windows Updates. Go into your Windows Update. Make sure you update all your Windows updates. You want to keep those updates up to date because those files will protect you from threats, from viruses, problems, holes, and problems that people find in Windows operating system, and problems that the engineers find. So they're called patches. The files are called patches. You make sure you update your Windows. Windows Update. If you have a legal version of Windows, click on that and do a full update. You can set it to automatic update so you don't have to fool with it no more. Every time Microsoft comes out with an update, it will automatically install on your computer and then you'll have the safety that you need for the Windows updates. So that's going to be the end of this quick recap live stream. I hope everybody got some good advice. Hi, Jay Kurt. Welcome to the live stream. Anybody that's got it, all this information, great. I hope you use it on a monthly basis, weekly basis, or when you have the time. Do these things. And once again, this is Mike Locascio. I help people maintain your computer, repair their computer. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, like, share the video with your friends. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.